There's like these thresholds by 2035. They have to reduce, I think, 40% emissions by 2050 at zero. And then they wanted to remove 45% of cars by, I think, 2035.
Oh, wow.
And they wanted to like really start hacking away at massive goals. What are your thoughts about, is Miami moving in the direction of mandatory upgrades as well?
Yes, but we have, at least I know for our Mayor Levine Cava, she's very, very conscious. And so I think if Miami would do these mandatory upgrades, we know our demographics, we know, the people who struggle and who don't. I think that it would be really, it'd be really consumer friendly. I wouldn't think that it would be predatory, and they wouldn't put people in tougher positions than they're already at. But it is important to make these changes, and I think that only comes with some mandates.
Yeah. Because on miamidade.gov, it was saying that there's like these thresholds by 2035. They have to reduce, I think, 40% emissions by 2050 at zero. And then they wanted to remove 45% of cars by, I think, 2035.
Oh, wow.
And they wanted to like really start hacking away at massive goals. And so when you start to look at how they would actually achieve that, it would be by mandates. It would be by removing options. Because 45% of cars, like, that's an astronomical sum. It's not like 3% or 5%. And
by when? By 2035? Wow.
Yeah, and if you look in California, they're removing gas vehicles, even like large trucks. They're trying to remove fossil fuels from them and move it fully electric. So like they're moving into a really big direction, I think, across the country towards this.
So does removing cars mean like all cars, or just making cars electric? Okay, gas vehicles. Okay.
But gas vehicles are in many cases less expensive because you have the option to go pick up a 2003 Honda Civic for 12 grand.
Yeah.
Or something
so
like that.
So then the idea is with time, those options would be more affordable. The car companies are going to start making more affordable electric vehicles, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I
haven't seen anything become more affordable the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Everything, like I talked to my wife about this. I'm like she'll go to Whole Foods and she'll be like, you won't believe how much this like bag of grocery was.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But if you can look at it, like the cost of solar overall has gone down within the last decade. It's definitely become more accessible. When it first came out, or when it first became like the new popular thing, that's kind of like how a lot of things are. When they first come out, it's rare. You can't get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And then, everyone starts making little different versions of it. And then, so maybe electric cars will be the same way.
Yeah. I got my wife a Tesla years ago, 3 years ago, and we totaled it. And I'm like, thank God we totaled it. Because
really? You didn't like it?
It was just, we charged it all the time.
Oh,
and
I was wondering that.
we were moving from like a location to another location, and the place where we're at didn't have a charger. And so we have to go to like Culver City, which is like this electric Tesla charger in LA. And I'd sit there for an hour every other day. I'm like,
really?
God, this is such a waste.
I always wondered that. Like, how is it easy to charge your Tesla?
No. It's kind of like if you were to take a 5-hour road trip, you would most likely stop 2 to maybe 3 times, and it would take you an hour each stop. So you probably add 35 to 40% on your trip to do it.
I did not know that.
So it's like, in order for them to really bring forward that many new electric vehicles, I would imagine that they'd probably have to multiply the charging stations.
Yeah.
And there would be a lot more people sitting charging their cars.
Wow.
So I do definitely think that we're going to see like a lot of changes. And I think that in change, comes opportunity for people that understand what's happening, like in advance.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.